We greet you from Ukraine Crisis Media Center, and we continue to inform you about decentralization, reform, and territorial organization of power. On the 1st of April, the day before yesterday, we had the anniversary, the 4th year, and this concept of decentralization was introduced. During this time, we were able to do really a lot. We carried out financial decentralization that provided local budgets with powerful financial resources. You can estimate it. So in 2014, the proceeds were 68 billion hryvnias, and in 2016, 102 billion, and for 2018, this can be 231 billion. So also it is important to form powerful communities, and more than 3,500 settlements they got united into 728 territorial communities, and they have their own budgets now, and the unification of communities help to implement infrastructure projects, and they provide benefit to schools, to kindergartens, they build roads, water supply lines, centers of provision of social services, and united communities are attractive for investors. And we invited for today's program Yurii Zavoloka, who is the head of the Buzka United Community. So the first question to you is, why did you decide to get united? We started this process in 2015, 2016. I became head of village council. We spoke about decentralization. There were different proposals, and one of the proposals was to be with Alexandrovska territorial community, and the 6 settlements wanted to unite, but we rejected this proposals because we didn't understand how to work on this unification, and we had our council, and they also rejected this idea. And Kucher Alexander Borisovich, due to his proposal, due to the residents, they proposed to us to get united in a unified community, and we thought about it, we assessed our capabilities, and we agreed, and our community was formed in this way. And what were your expectations from unification? First of all, when we speak about decentralization, about unification, we calculated our incentives concerning economy, and the distance is 20 kilometers between the settlements, but concerning the economy, we were more powerful, and we calculated that we will have to create our centers of education, of healthcare, and we decided that we will be able to do it, and we decided to get united. So the first elections were carried out in December 2016. So you work in this format, your community work in the new format, and what are your achievements starting then? So we were created in December 2016, and we work in this format, and we tried to use our funds, and we calculated our budgets, we allocated funds correctly, we created roads, kindergartens, centers of culture, and we understood that we should pay more attention to cultural institutions and educational institutions, healthcare institutions, and 8 million for roads, kindergartens, healthcare. We spent it in 2016, so 8 million for the small community. This is a lot. And how did the budget change before unification and what it is now? Now, interesting fact is 8 million we spent for development of our community, and before this, separately we had 3.5 or 4 million. And so it is clear that 2 councils had 4, and we spent 8 for development, and we had funds for administrative buildings for our workers, and healthcare subvention. We provided it, and we were able to support this. And due to what did you increase the budget? The budget increased because funds were provided from the taxes from people who work in different enterprises, who work officially, and there are many people who work in these institutions, and 5 or 6 million we earned from this. If we compare your community with other communities that were united, so your community is small, about 3,000 people. 2 settlements got united, and now we have a mechanism of unification to existing communities. Maybe you could increase your capabilities if you enlarge. We will be pleased to be in the format we have now. We can get united with others, but we understand that our community is not so big, and now we envisage the prospects to unite 2 settlements that didn't unite, and we will have negotiations, and they will have meetings, and I will be present there. I will speak with people, and I will try to convince them what prospects they will have, and we will be able to improve their lives. And did you study the situation there overall? We spoke with the heads of villages and with deputies, and they want to get united. So the next question. Buzka community is 1 out of 5 who participated in Million West community, and you proposed an idea to build a cannery plant for 32 million, and the money was lacking for this plant. And this idea of building this plant, will it have its continuation? When we joined the project, we were surprised because we didn't envisage this. We submitted our candidature, but we didn't expect that we will participate in one. So this idea of cannery plant, we should find the customers for the products. We can find investor, we can build the plant, but we should find the end point of supply of demand, and we will do it differently. We will use the idea of Pechenizhe. They made this enterprise for freezing of berries, and we also want to implement the idea of freezing of vegetables. And you participated in the project, and I see that all those communities that took part in this project, that you really have more friendly communication among themselves, and this will also continue in 2018. We can phone each other, we can visit each other, and we can go to other communities to share experience. And you remember about Pechenizka community, and I got acquainted with Vasil. He is a wonderful person, and we were speaking that we will get together for a picnic. And about the employment, the creation of working places, because this cannery facility, it can be a driver for creating these new jobs. And what are other projects? In 2017, due to investors who are interested, renewable energy solar station, we have it 60 hectares, and in this project, and starting 2017, and in this year we will start it for places for solar panels and for people. Maybe we will have employment 15 persons per plot, but the rent will increase, and 27 hectares for farming. This will provide about 60 up to 100, and for solar batteries 121 for 1 hectare. So this is a good profit for the budget. And let's go back to the Million West Community Project. In one of the first series, there was a unique product. These were the vegetable lollipops, and I have never tasted this product, but these vegetable lollipops, they can be a visiting card of your community. Maybe, do you plan to develop this project? Really, if you watch this project, people ask about these lollipops, and we say, yes, maybe we can create a cooperative or to in order to produce these candies, these lollipops. So maybe this can be a visiting card of the community. So you didn't get 1 million, but 250,000 were provided by Dobre project. You got it as a participant who took the second place. So this is good money. So this 250,000 we won, and people ask where I want to invest it into. So we have such an idea. We have communal enterprise, and for this communal enterprise, we want to buy a special device for chopping the wood, and after sanitary works, this wood will be used for as a fuel. So as fuel, and there will be employment for several people, and in this way we will be able to use what is burned, what is left out, and we will provide wood for kindergartens and for administrative buildings and for future cultural house, and this solid fuel will be provided for these institutions. So we spoke a lot about employment, the creation of working places, and your community does not differ much from other communities because many people lack specialists. What specialists are lacking in your community? Overall, we are in the stage of reforming, and we select specialists who we need in our community. There's always lack of personnel because there are specialists who work really good, but it is difficult to attract them. And in Mykolaiv, Voznesensk, there are young specialists, and the young people study, and we try to carry out negotiations in order that those young specialists who went to get education, that they, after this, we want them to have them back in our community. And what about the activity of young people? We are active in our activity with young people due to Dobre program and due to the incentive we created the youth council, and young people started to be more active. They provided their proposals, and those processes are implemented, and we have sports halls for young people. And this year, last year, they came up to us and they asked that we bought equipment, and in 6 months with their help, they will tell us what they want to have in these halls, and we will develop sports facilities and parks. So we pay a lot of attention to youth because they are our future.
Can you tell us whether your community have some integrated plan of development, maybe some mid-term strategy or long-term strategy of development? Yes, the strategy is what we are working on now, thanks to Dobre program. The youth is actively engaged engaged. We should conduct a social survey so that we can get the ideas from our community members. We need to disseminate the questionnaires among the household, then get the feedback, and then digitalize the received data. So we think we will do this fast within 2 weeks. How your initiatives? You look like the maybe youngest head of the community. You are 28. I do not pay attention to my young age. Maybe I am the youngest, but there are many communities. I don't know the ages of their heads. When you are young and you come, when I came first, I understood what should I do. You do not understand what to do, and maybe 3 or 4 months is your initial period. There were people who criticizing me, there were supporters, and then I proved that I can be the head. And the governmental order of transfer of lands of agricultural purpose. Do you have now are you ready to use the chances to take these lands? People are satisfied we have the processes that the land is transferred to us, but without our consent, they cannot do that. And there is transparency, and people are satisfied with the transparency. We have 21 communities in our region, and every community should get these lands, and we are on the plan of the land transfer for the September of this year. We will see the full picture. We should calculate and estimate how we can improve our budget. Maybe we will rent the lands, and we should consider different options. Maybe solar panel plants will be installed. In Mykolaiv region, you said there are 21 united communities. You are on the 8th place. The income per member of community is 4,800 hryvnias. You have just been created, you have everything ahead of you. And what do you think, how your community will look like in 10 years? I think that the moment will come when all processes will be mature, and the healthcare system, education system, and road infrastructure will be perfect. And when the head will go to people and communicate to them, then people will be satisfied with the community. And maybe the best thing is when the process is going so smoothly that you are even not noticed. Last question is the final question. Do you have what to say to those people to those communities who have not yet united? Looking at what is happening in the process of decentralization, I would like to say that first you should look, you should calculate, and you should amalgamate and listen to those people who see how to unite. This process is inevitable. If half of the country remain in the previous format and the half of the country will be in the new format, this would be quite hard. So we should understand how to develop the territories better, how to unite and to find support from people, to prove to the people that everything will change for better thanks to decentralization. Thank you. We have been talking to Yurii Zavoloka, head of the Buzka United Community.